Second-ranked Michigan takes their unbeaten record into Lincoln to meet the Cornhuskers. That one, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. It's the fifth straight week Michigan checks in at number 2. Coach, are you really telling me you have bad vibes about the maize and blue in Lincoln today?
Well, just the Wolverines have played a schedule that's not very good. If you play bad schedules, I've been there before, you just don't get better. If you're the same team in October you were in September, you're not a very good team. I believe in Matt Rule. I believe in Nebraska. We saw them. They should have beat Minnesota. Yep. If you don't turn the ball over here a couple weeks ago, they're right in that game. Don't turn the ball over and let that 3-3-5 defense play. They got good players on defense. I think it's going to be a close game in Lincoln.
I don't know if I see it that way. I mean, look, both great rush defenses. That's one thing we know. The line of scrimmage battle is going to be interesting. To me, it really comes down to if Nebraska, with Heinrich Haarberg at quarterback, can make enough big plays in the passing game. Because we know J.J. McCarthy can. And I don't know that the Nebraska secondary can match up with guys like Roman Wilson, who's right now leading the Big Ten in touchdown reception. So I think that's where this game gets a little bit out of hand, is the bigger plays in the passing game. And J.J. McCarthy, as he starts to kind of build up, maybe kind of fly under the radar for the Heisman hype. But as Michigan moves along, keep an eye on J.J. McCarthy. He's starting to get more of that hype.
Like you guys said, Michigan hasn't been tested, but they will be tested today on the line of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively. They're bringing in the number one rush defense in the country, they're allowing 46 rush yards per game. I mean, come on, that's no yards. And then they have the number one rush offense in the Big Ten. So the strength of Michigan is in the trenches. So the trenches will have the opportunity to prove their worth, prove their value today versus Nebraska.
I think like we all believe in St. Nick and Alabama turning around, I think we do believe in Jim Harbaugh and what he's built there the last couple of years, getting to the playoff, winning the Big Ten championship. It's just hard to evaluate them. We know what their identity is. They're great up front. They're going to run the football. J.J. McCarthy had 3 picks a couple weeks ago in a game. No one really talked about that.
Over that, man. You're really down on him right now.
I'm not down on him. I'm just saying they have the 86th ranked schedule in college football right now, and they will not get tested, in my opinion.
There's a lot of other teams who fall in that category, by the way. One of them's playing here about 10 a.m. local time.
They've also played 2 Power 5 teams, but it's okay.
You only can play who's on the schedule.
Until they play Penn State in November is really when we're going to find out more about Michigan. I'm not worried about them, but I don't think they're going to get tested today against Nebraska.
Not just playing Penn State, at Penn State in November. That's going to be a good road trip. All right, Bear, your thoughts on Michigan right now?
It just doesn't feel like it's going to be a very aesthetically pleasing game this afternoon. But if you look at Michigan, they are one of the slowest tempo teams in the country. When there are not a ton of possessions in the game, it kind of keeps the underdog around in the game, even though you have a talent advantage. And you hit on it with the turnovers. Since Haarberg was inserted in the starting lineup for Nebraska, they've turned the ball over 1 time. That's what was hurting Nebraska in the first 2 games. Turnovers. They eliminate the turnovers. This feels like a very 23-7 type of game where you just kind of ugly it up and Nebraska just kind of hangs. Michigan will win, but I don't think it's going to be a super easy game for them today.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here. College football on Fox.